Hello everyone, this is Tim the Enchanter, and it's time for us to get all aboard the Monster Train, new hit game that is available on Steam from Shiny Shoe Games, and I don't remember the name of the publisher, I'm not that fancy at this yet. So, after mangling two different runs as far as recording, I have finally gotten all my resolution issues sorted out, and this one is going to actually work. So if you are late to the party, well, you're just late to the party. But this is a mashup of, somebody took the idea of Supernatural Hell on Wheels, The Good Place, and Slay the Spire and other roguelike deck builders, mashed them all into the one, and this is what came out. So we are a bunch of demons defending the monster train that takes you into the inner circle of hell from, I guess, some angelic beings that are trying to take it out. So again, postmodernism, morality is relative as far as who's good and who's bad. The point is we're just defending our turf. So a little about this game. It's roguelike in that you have a series of individual runs that are self-contained, but as you complete more and more runs, you get more stuff. So as an example of that, the first two runs that I recorded but were not really viable recordings, I gradually unlocked some extra cards. As you discover cards, they show up here in your card book. There are a total of 5 different clans that you can play as. You have to unlock them. Some you unlock by summoning units, some you unlock by playing spells, and some you unlock the Melting Remnant by getting kills. And it looks like obviously it's going to take the longest time to open this last one. And you get to use, so each clan basically is a different deck. So there's a set of cards for the Hellhorn. There's a set of cards for each of these 5 clans, and you actually get to use 2 different decks each run. So you can mix up Hellhound and Stygian, Stygian and Awoken. You're going to have a hero who is the primary. Who's based on your primary clan, and then you won't have the hero, but you'll have the additional cards from each other clan. There are also, so here's, by the way, your heroes, and it shows the most that we have upgraded those so far. And then the Sentient, I haven't played with them yet, and I still won't again on this run. And then there are artifacts in the game. If you are familiar with Slay the Spire, these are some customizations that you can make as you go through your run that help enhance or direct the way that you are building your deck. This mechanic adds a lot of variability between plays, and also sort of lets you customize, and as I'll kind of talk about later, it really changes the value of cards from run to run. So one card is not always going to be the best card every time. It will depend on the artifacts that you collect, which again adds some replay value and complexity to the game, because it makes you, you can't pick the same card every time. Another neat thing about this, it actually keeps track of your run history. So here's where, again, it shows your primary clan, the allied clan, how far you got. It even keeps track of all the cards that you had in your hand, and basically, again, which villain you fought, what buffs they had, or in this... so there's a lot of data here, and I think part of what is great about this is that the developers are looking at this. If you'll notice, you can kind of track the patch notes. I think as they collect data, they are learning which cards are over or undervalued and making adjustments to that as they go along. So that's a good sign, hopefully, that this will continue to evolve, because it does seem like we've got a good active development group here. So with all that said, we're going to go ahead and start a run. And like I said, we are going to play as the Hellhorn again, with the Awoken clan as my allied clan, because that's the only option that I have. But I think after this run, I should unlock that 3rd Stygian group. So basically, each game you'll have a different final boss that you may fight against. I think the last one I got had a really difficult thing for me to try to beat. Anyway, so we are entering Limbo. We're traveling on this train track to the center of hell. There's going to be, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total battles. So I think this will probably be best broken up into groups of 3, and then maybe 2 for the final battle. I think this time around we'll do 2, 3, and 3 as far as how I compartmentalize, since we took some time at the beginning. If you haven't watched anybody else, that would shock me, but basically some of these numbers. The pyre is the beating heart of your train. That's what keeps it going. Basically, once you run out of pyre health, you lose game over. This is how much attack power your pyre has, so that'll make more sense later. These are the number of cards in the deck. These are the number of coins that you have that you use to buy upgrades and stuff. We are first going to upgrade our champion. I'm going to try a little bit different approach than I did before. I think I did Wrathful before. We're going to try the Multi-Strike this time. Again, I'm just trying out different builds. Not necessarily, I don't know which one is optimal, and hopefully along the way, it's not always more optimal. All right, so Rage is a boost or buff to your units that lets them, they have a certain number of attack. So Rage 3 means they will start with a multiplier of 3 times 2. They'll start with 6 extra attack. In each turn it will decay. So they'll go from +6 to +4 to +2 to +0. Because of Rage 3. If it was Rage 7, it would start at 14 and then go down 2 each time. This one, when you play spells, when you play a spell, spells in hand that cost less are reduced to 0. So this would be really handy if you had a high cost spell that you put out first. So right away this is offering us a choice. Are we going to go with a more unit-oriented deck or a spell-oriented deck? So far I have enjoyed going unit-oriented. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with that and try this one. But at some point I should do more of a spell deck and see how that goes. So we are going into our first battle. We are fighting with Heaven's Priests. Ron Swanson with a giant hammer. A lot of the enemies in this game are basically Ron Swanson in different costumes. There's also a trial that you may have each game or each battle that gives you an additional reward if you subject yourself to an additional difficulty from the boss. I would definitely take this, especially the first time it's basically going to be something free for you because the first battle is usually not that difficult. If it was, I don't think people would be that excited about playing the game. So again, some of these other numbers here. It's a standard deck builder where you start with a draw of 5 cards. As you go throughout the train, you will make your cards stronger. And then you've also got a hand of, right now there's a total of 15 cards. I've got 10 in my draw pile, 5 in my hand. I have 0 discarded. You can also, I think they call it consume, where you can get rid of a card for the whole battle. And then you can also completely remove cards from your deck, which you'll eventually want to do with these weaker cards. Anyway, the Ember is the cost of each card. So right now, to start with, I can play 3 Ember worth of cards. Also here is the capacity of each floor. Your train is divided into 3 floors. You are going to place your units on different floors. And so right now, when I'm going to go ahead and play this guy here, you'll notice he gets to attack twice. He also has 10 armor. Which is absorbed before he starts to take damage. You'll notice here is the extra rage that he has. Normally his base attack is actually 6, but right now it is 12. So I put him up here because we're not going to be able to get a kill on these guys right off the bat. And so sometimes you want stronger heroes on higher levels. Now it's going to work out not quite so great because of the rage mechanic. He's going to lose an attack before he actually hits anybody. So we're going to go ahead and drop one of those guys down there. we're going to use a torch to kill this guy. And you'll notice it's showing me the math as far as what's going to happen. So he's going to take 11 damage because right now this has the base 5 attack plus the extra 6 from our rage. So that's going straight to this Forged Disciple. And then we're also going to drop another Trained Steward up here. Again, because we still wouldn't get the kill down here, we'd only do a total of 22. That is the end of our turn. Again, we've used up all our Ember, so we cannot use this last spell. But that's alright, it wouldn't have done anything anyway, because nobody has taken any damage yet. So as I mentioned before, your deck is broken up into units and spells. So the units, you'll notice they look a lot like cards from Hearthstone, which is fine. Again, it's a recognizable mechanic. It looks good, and it gives you all the information you need in a pretty clear format as far as how much health the unit has, how much attack it has, and some of this stuff I think may mean something later, as far as you know, there might be stuff that comes out later that does certain things to machine cards, etc., etc., etc. Let's see, so we're definitely going to go ahead and drop our other Trained Steward down here. You'll notice when I place this, now this Trained Steward is taking the attack, and it's no longer going to this unit, so this unit is going to survive. If a unit is going to be killed in the sequence, a red X will appear here, which is what you see right there. In there. So right now we're going to get full kills on both of the Forged Disciple and the Collector, which we're actually going to gain 50 gold when we kill it. These little things will run away if you don't defeat them. The sequence, by the way, is that the enemies normally attack first and then you attack second. There is a boost called Quick, which will let you go first. Let's see, we are going to go ahead and, again, since we're getting a full kill here, we'll go ahead and use our torch to take out that unit. And then we'll go ahead and apply our restore on our injured Trained Steward down here. And end our turn. So again, this is going to take some attack. And again, now you can see our rage is decaying, and we are down to a smaller attack value. That's all right. We're still going to get the kill up there. Again, you'll notice based on the capacity of each floor, I only have one capacity left. There are some units that only take up one, but we can't. We don't have those in our deck yet. So we're going to have to place our Trained Steward up here. Now, I could actually wait to place the Trained Steward, which I think will make sense because since there's not going to be a unit up here, again, at this point I've only got 11 cards in my deck. We're going to reshuffle, so there's basically a 50% chance, or slightly less than that, 5 out of 11, that I'm going to get this card back next turn, and we'll be able to deploy it with the full benefit from the rage. So we're actually going to definitely want to play both of these, which we'll put there and there to beef up our Trained Stewards. Again, they're really basically here to protect what's behind them because they are less valuable than the other cards in our hand. And then I guess I might as well go ahead and play a torch. And we'll end our turn. Oh, that's unfortunate. I lost that Trained Steward. Alright, so now we've gotten to the final wave. Again, this is the boss of the battle. Again, each run consists of a series of up to 8 battles if you survive the whole time. At this point, he's going to take 17 damage. We're going to go ahead. If we discarded this now, we wouldn't have it next turn for sure. So we're going to put it up there. We'll lose 1 round of rage, but that's alright. And then, let's see, if I... Let's help me. Oh, okay. So you'll notice here, this Relentless thing, this is something that most of the bosses has. Relentless means they will continue to fight all of the units on a floor of the train until either they die or all the units die. And then this floor will be blocked off and they'll move up to the next one. But you'll notice earlier the units would only have one turn and then they would move up. But the relentless buff, if you will, means that they're going to fight it out until they move up. Which is why both of these units are going to get killed, but they're going to do a total 22 damage. So actually, no, that's all right. I didn't really misplay anything. So you can see he took a full sort of turn of damage there and moved up. Another thing, you'll notice this multi-strike thing. Basically, it lets you attack twice. So one attack that's for 12 and 6, or 2 attacks for 6 do the same total damage, but it avoids an overkill thing. So if there was a unit here with 5 health left, you would be able to then hit the unit behind it with your second attack, whereas if you had just one attack for 12, you would use it all on the unit with 5 health, and then the other 7 would go to waste. So that's an advantage of multi-strike versus having a higher attack amount. Sometimes. There are other times when the higher attack amount comes in handier. Anyway, we don't really have any of our spells that we can use other than the torch. We're going to get the kill anyway, so we are going to finish out our first battle here. So at the end of each battle, we'll get a score based on how... so you also get a bonus based on whether or not you beat the boss on the first floor, second floor, third floor. We also get a boost for enabling that trial, and then we get this extra reward where we're going to get to draft an enemy unit. This game does have that element of opening up packs of things, which if you enjoyed, I collected a lot of baseball cards as a kid, and that's one of the things that makes collectible style games fun, is the excitement of, oh boy, what am I going to get this time? And in this case, it does it without the soul-sucking microtransactions of the mobile gaming on your phone or tablet. Anyway, so we've got imps, if you'll notice. Yeah, so these are imp cards. There are different things that will benefit you. There's a spell called Impalate, which increases in attack based on how many imps you have in your deck. But again, imps are those one capacity cards that will help us fill in the gap. Generally, we want to put them at the back. This again gives us the ability to make our deck more aggressive or defensive. I think we are going to let's stick with our rage theme. The other option, this can be kind of handy because it when you put it in, it deals 5 damage to each unit on the floor. But we're going to go ahead and take this one for now. And then we've got some spells that we can choose. I am going to take Glimmer. This one is pretty great. It deals 2 damage to each enemy unit and heals 2 to each of your units that are damaged. And then we get to draft a unit. I have been using a lot of Thorned Hollows. Of course, I've also been losing with a lot of Thorned Hollows. That's right. We're gonna keep stubbornly trying the same thing over and over, and see if eventually I can figure it out. Okay, so each turn you get to choose. Basically, we have the choice to buff a spell or buff a unit. And then since I picked up a Thorn Hollow, I think we'll go this way because I want to pick up another Hellhorned unit. But again, each time that you get through a battle, you will have a path that has different things you can choose. So again, very similar to Slay the Spire. So we're going to go this way, and so we have the option to reduce the cost of a spell, which I think at this point we will put on... Actually, let me back out of this. I think actually right now, again, I don't want to necessarily use up both boosts on a spell yet. So we're just going to actually buff up what Glimmer does. So now all of a sudden, again, instead of being just a 2 AoE or area of effect where it hits all the units, now it's doing 12 damage to every unit in a row. And healing 12. So we could potentially, again, there's no really good reason to boost it up to, or to lower the cost, because it's already a pretty cheap spell. Again, at this point, I don't know if, again, the only really good spell we have is Glimmer. We're not going to permafrost it right now because there might be another boost that is more helpful later. We're definitely going to get a card out of our deck. So at this point, we are going to remove a Trained Steward. Since we picked up 3 capacity in our Thorn Hollow. Alright, and we're going to pick up a Hellhorn unit. We are definitely going to grab a Demon Fiend. Now, right now, I don't have enough Ember to actually even play that card, but once I get something that can reduce the cost of a unit, then I will be able to use that, and Demon Fiends are really powerful. I haven't actually been able to use them yet, so I'm hoping that this will be one of the things that changes whether or not I actually win this run. Alright, so let's see, we're going to go ahead and turn this boost on, so we'll get an additional 75 coins. And we are fighting the Barbed Disciples. So it's like a robot plague doctor from Darkest Dungeon. Alright, so here we go. So Retribution, non-boss enemies enter with spikes. 3 spikes basically inflicts a damage to you when you attack a unit. So he actually starts with spikes 2, but now he's got an additional spikes 5. Again, wow, this is kind of unlucky. We drew all units. So this is kind of an interesting decision that I have to make. I'm going to go ahead and put my... So one thing you have to pay attention to when you put out a unit, is it even going to survive? Because once you drop it, it'll tell you if it's going to survive, but at that point it'll be too late. So this turn, units are only going to take, they're going to take the damage from the spikes, which would be 3 plus 5 is 8 plus 1, which would be 9 damage. So he would definitely survive. Again, the way this guy works is that he starts with 15 health, but he has max health of 55, so he can be really tanky. So as you have other spells that heal him up, he can get much stronger, but it's important to make sure that he can survive the first turn. We're going to put our Hornbreaker Prince up here. I am not going to put out the Fledgling Imp yet. We will be able to get him the next time around, because I'm actually going to go ahead and save some damage on our Thorn Hollow here. So again, this only has 5 health, but it has 25 armor, so the armor is going to take the 11 attack and not him directly. So again, oh wait, I miscounted. I can put this Fledgling Imp out. Again, I think we're going to go ahead and put him up here because it's better to get this rage on the multi-strike, I think, because you're basically doubling the effectiveness of it. Alright, so again, here's where you're going to see the niftiness of the Glimmer spell, because we're going to boost this guy up to 24 health, and we are going to drop 12 damage on this row, which will take out this one. We don't have quite enough to get a kill yet, but if I drop a torch on this guy, now we're going to get a kill down here. And then, and we're going to put a Trained Steward up here just so we can grab this, get the extra gold. So thanks to the multi-strike, we got the kill down there, and we got the kill on row 1. And we don't have any enemies this turn, so that's handy. So this will allow us to drop a bunch of health onto our Thorned Hollow. And he also has a rejuvenate buff here, so you'll notice triggers when healed even at full health. So each time that we heal him, he picks up additional spikes. So he is going to be dealing 8 damage now when someone hits him, and that's before he attacks back. So he's actually doing a net of 15 damage. Other than he is losing, he's getting decay on the rage. So let's see. So we're going to drop a Train Steward in front of him, and you'll notice when I do that, that he is now going to survive. So that's good. We're actually also going to just drop a torch here, take that guy out. And with our next, I think we'll go ahead and actually do a restore on this one. Again, that buffed up the spikes a little bit higher. Again, this is a relentless villain, but again, what you can see is that we are going to actually get the kill on this floor, so we're going to get the extra boost for defeating the boss on the first floor, which is good. Alright, so we get our extra 75 gold, which will come in handy later. Again, you'll notice we got a 30% boost to our score because we beat the boss on the first floor. And then we get 2 more packs. And there we go, I unlocked the Stygian Guard. Good for me. Alright, so let's see. Again, since I use this rage, we're going to let's see, what did I get? Oh, is this what I got last time? I can't remember. Oh, this is interesting. Damage dealt by this card ignores armor and shields. Let's go ahead and grab that. I haven't used that before. This is one of my favorite spells to use with the Hollow units because, again, it restores health. So they have to have the capacity to have health restored before it can even work. So it combos great with them because you can heal them up and get them closer to their max health, and you deal 5 times the damage that you heal in health. So this is a fantastic card to combo with the Hollow units. There are different kinds of Hollows. There's the Thorn Hollow, and then there's at least one more, probably more than that. So I can gain an artifact. Yeah, we'll go ahead and grab an artifact, and then I can also pick up a new unit. 50% chance to swap front and back enemies. I don't know, this seems much more straightforward, so we'll go with the armor buff. Let's see, I actually really like both of these are good cards, but I'm going to go ahead and grab the Husk Hermit for now. And then the Concealed Caverns are basically just a random choice that you get. So we can, copy a card. Oh, wow, okay. Alright, we're going to go for broke here. I'm copying Bear Taffy in his first successful run. We're just going to make a bunch of Demon Fiends. That could be a terrible idea, but desperate times call for desperate measures, folks. Again, that actually would have been really handy if it was a buffed card. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do one more battle. So this is Flapped in America, Ron Swanson. Ron Swanson plus the the outfit for Falcon from the Marvel Universe. So we'll go ahead and beat this boss, hopefully. You'll notice we didn't get that extra boost. So enemy units deal 1 damage to the front unit on death. So we're going to take a little bit of damage when we kill a unit. Alright, so early on we're going to go ahead and drop out our sweep here. So you'll notice he's going to wipe out that whole row. We're going to put our train steward in front of him so that he doesn't take as much damage and the train steward dies, which is fine. And then we're going to go ahead and put this up here. And since we have 1 attack left, we're going to blow up this bomb so we don't take that damage. And we're on to the next one. You'll notice because the boss is on the 2nd row right now and is unprotected, our Horn Demon was actually able to do damage directly to the boss, which is fantastic. So now he's down to the 1st floor, so he'll only take damage. Actually, he will take damage because this is where our Husk Hermit is doing some good work here. So you'll notice I am, you know what, duplicating the Demon Fiend was a terrible idea because I hadn't reduced the cost yet. So I definitely have to, I'm going to have to find a way to increase my Ember before I can really do much with these. I'm going to go ahead and take out that, and that's all we can do. Again, this is what makes roguelikes fun, I think. Is yeah, sometimes you do something that you realize is stupid, but you know you learn more for the next time. Let's see, we're gonna go ahead and put our Thorn Hollow down here, and then we don't really have much left to do but torch. So we're gonna actually, there's nobody up here to take damage from him. Go ahead and apply this here. I don't know if that's going to help at all, but we're going to get a kill here no matter what. Yeah, this is a really good enemy for our Husk Hermit because you've got a bunch. He puts out a bunch of low health units, which are easily wiped out. We're going to go ahead and use Glimmer because you'll notice it's going to completely wipe all of them out right off the bat. And then we will. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and use the torch on the bomb, and then drop a regen or a restore on our Thorn Hollow, and on to the next round. And again, that's thanks to our multi-strike. We got an extra little shot in there on Flying Ron Swanson. Again, so here's the nice thing about Restoration Detonation. It's going to drop 50 damage on that fella right there. And let's see. We don't have capacity to do anything with our Fledgling Imp. We're going to go ahead and drop him up here. And then get a restore on our Thorn Hollow. And we're on to the next turn. Get a little shot on Daedalus there. I assume Daedalus is still raging over the death of his son Icarus due to his own lack of parenting. Let's see. Go ahead and throw that out there. We'll put a train steward up here and a couple more torches, or throw another torch at him. So at this now, let's see. Maybe the Relentless is kicking in now. Yeah, so he's cleared out that floor. He's going to move up to the next floor. Oh. Yeah, so this is, again, me shooting myself in the foot. He's going to get to our pyre. But we'll do the math ahead of time. So basically, actually, this is where this torch is going to... Alright, so he's going to lose 73 health, so he's going to go from 117 to, what, 47, 44. So he'll be down to 44 health. He'll go up to the pyre, and actually he's going to get 3 attacks in on our pyre, because our pyre is going to do 20 damage each time, so unfortunately, if we could have done 4 more damage to him, we would have saved ourselves a turn. But you'll be able to see what happens here. So like I said, we knocked him down to 44. He's going to come up and attack. Oh, well, that's nice. Oh, I can do that damage even without any units there. Alright, so that saved us a little bit of damage to our pyre. Alright, oh good, we got a major enhancement, which is going to help us out with all those demon fiends in our deck, which you'll see here in a moment. We also got a rare pack, so we're going to pick up a couple nifty things here. Let's see. Restore friendly units to full health. Alright, we're going to definitely take the Unleash the Wild Hood, because Ember is a problem for us right now. Our Awoken Hollow is the other alternative that you have to the Thorned Hollow. I'm actually going to grab a Horned Warrior. And then we are definitely going to take our Ember enhancement so we can actually start playing those Demon Fiends. That's more of a limitation for us right now. So what we did is we just increased our Ember to 4 per turn. And we also buffed up our pyro a little bit, which is nice. Okay, so I have completed 3 out of the 8 battles here, so I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here. So hope you are enjoying this. Again, I definitely recommend checking out Monster Train on Steam. It's a really fun game, and you will not be disappointed. Thanks everybody. Feel free to click like on the video if you've enjoyed this so far, and subscribe to the channel to get instant updates when more of these playthroughs are out. I will see you next time.